Imagine opening up your laptop today and actually finishing your very first song, even if you've never used music software before. I'm a full-time music producer and I've taught over 1,000 students how to make better sounding music. And I've seen that almost everyone gets stuck in one of the same two places. They don't know what gear they need, and then they don't know where to start. So in this video, I'm gonna be giving you a stupid, simple beginner path that actually gets you to your first finished song. One of my students, Paige, started with zero experience and she released, not just finished, but released 4 songs in 2 months using this exact approach. And today, you're gonna be able to follow along step by step. So what do you actually need to start making music? You only need 4 things. 1, you need a music software, which is called a DAW, Digital Audio Workstation. If you don't know what that is, it's just the place that you make music. There's Logic, Pro Tools, FL Studio, Ableton, Cubase, tons of different DAWs that are out there. If you are looking for a recommendation and you're literally starting with nothing, I do like Studio One. I think it's fantastic and it works really well. But if you are already using a DAW, maybe you're using Logic or GarageBand or something similar, just stick with the one that you got. You seriously cannot choose wrong. Grammys have been won on every single one of these DAWs. So just pick one and go all in. One of the biggest mistakes that I see beginners make is they think that one DAW is better than this one for different things. And then even worse, they start using multiple DAWs to finish one song. This is a nightmare, it's a headache, and absolutely avoid this. The second thing you're going to need is a pair of headphones. Don't fall into the $800 studio monitor speaker trap. Just get yourself a pair of headphones so that way you can actually hear the music that you're making. You're then going to need an interface and a microphone, but only if you plan on recording something. If you are planning on recording your own vocals, or maybe you play guitar and want to record your guitar, then you will need an interface and a microphone. But if you don't plan on recording anything yourself and you just want to use virtual instruments, which we'll get to in just a second, then you do not need these today to make a full song. And the fourth thing you need is loops and virtual instruments. These are the sounds that you'll be able to use inside of your DAW. Loops are pre-recorded audio that somebody else made. You can use them inside of your DAW and make songs out of that. And it's just an audio file that somebody maybe recorded the drums or recorded piano, and they can just drag it and drop it into the session. Virtual instruments is an instrument that's actually inside of your DAW. You can have any kind of instrument that you want by using virtual instruments, and you can play these instruments right inside of MIDI inside of your DAW. Sounds are super important, and so I created the Producer's Genre Vault Kit. I scoured the entire internet and found all the best free and paid sounds in every major genre. So if you make metal or you make rock or punk rock, CCM and worship, EDM, it doesn't matter. I found all the best free and paid synths, drums, effects, sounds in every single genre. This is completely free. You can get this using the link down in the description below, or you can scan this QR code here. Now, once we have everything we need, then we need to install our DAW. Once we have our DAW installed, we're then going to want to go to opening our application and creating a channel. This is really important. You need to understand that there are 2 different types of channels. So if we go here and we add a track or add a channel using this plus icon, every DAW is just slightly different, but all of them have this option. We're going to click plus. There's an audio option and there's also an instrument option. It might also be called MIDI if you're using Logic or something else. Audio basically means recording any sort of audio. If you're using a microphone or you're recording an instrument, then you're going to want to choose audio. If you're dragging in pre-recorded audio like loops, then you're going to want to choose audio as well. If you are using a virtual instrument, something that you can play on a keyboard, writing in with MIDI, then you're going to want to select the instrument or the MIDI option. So for here, I've done both. I have the vocals where I want to record some vocals, and then I've also created an instrument where then I can play some drums. Now, before we get into the part where we start to make music, we need to take one step back and think about what kind of song we want to make. I know it's exciting to just dive right in and start making music, but we need to have clarity and focus. And so I do something called the song title hack, where we come up with the song title first before we start making our music. Now, listen to these 2 song title ideas. One is Where Your Heart Rests. That sounds like a ballad, a love song, maybe poppy. And then the next song title idea is A Throne of Shattered Skulls. This sounds like a thrash metal song, something where people are going to be opening up a mosh pit and going crazy. Now, these are 2 different song title ideas, but notice how I haven't mentioned genre or key or tempo, but yet you knew exactly the direction each of these songs could go. So start with the title first. It gives you clarity and it gives you direction. Once we've chosen our title and we know what genre we want to make based off of that title, now we can start making our song. I use a thing called the 3-step chorus method. We want to start with the chorus. So let's build the chorus out and let's see what that looks like. First, we want to select a drum loop. I have a drum loop that sounds like this. Then we want to pick some type of chord progression. Once again, using loops or virtual instruments is extremely helpful. So I wrote in this bass line inside of a virtual instrument. And then I brought in one more loop as well that has a chord progression. Now we're already off to something super exciting. This is not supposed to be perfect. This is just supposed to exist. Now, once we have our elements here, then we can start building a song in about 10 minutes. I want you to use a structure, something similar to this. Have an intro, have a chorus, have a verse, a chorus, maybe a bridge, and then a final chorus. All we're doing is we're going to take everything that we have here and we're just going to make an arrangement. Maybe we change the chord progression a little bit. Maybe we bring the drums in, take the drums out. This is arrangement. Always ask yourself when you're going from a verse to a chorus, ask yourself what's new, what's leaving. Something has to change to go from a verse to a chorus. So just always ask yourself what's new and what's changing. So we can take all these elements and we could duplicate them, and then we could take some things out to remove energy. We can bring some things back in to bring that energy back. And the goal is, before we bring in anything else and anything more, we want to create an entire arrangement. There's a lot more you can do, like mixing, mastering, automation, and effects, but you don't need any of that today. We just need to make music. This video here is your starting point so that we actually start making and finishing an entire song and an entire arrangement by the end of today. If you want to see how a full song is made in less than about an hour from start to finish, I live stream the entire process every single week. You can go watch one of my live streams right here. You can literally watch me produce a song from start to finish in real time using the exact process that I showed you here today. Don't forget to download the Producer Genre Vault down in the description below. And while you're down there, feel free to hit the subscribe and the like button if this video has helped you. I'll see you over there. Now, as always, go create.